Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Hardcore Heroes. Which one of you wants to go first?
Either way, I'm gonna go talk to some dwarves, and then I'm gonna write a letter. So
Let's talk to dwarves then. Let's do
Okay.
it. Where do you want to? Where are your dwarves?
Malachi said he was gonna refer me to the dwarves that did the work on our basement. So I think I'm gonna go to those same dwarves.
So I tell you to ask Jeeves for the name of them because I don't know who
Okay,
they are.
so I have to go all the way back to the mansion.
Yeah.
Yes,
I talk
yeah.
to Jeeves and I get their name. And after being referred, I'm gonna head into town and find those dwarves.
All right. You can head into town. Let me just get the town map. Oh, yeah, here we go. You head into town and find the dwarves. They're hanging out in a different tavern way down the way on the southwest side of town. And sort of like a small dwarven building.
Yeah, so I duck down and enter in. Kind of stay crouched a little bit because Van's a very tall person, so he probably has like the Gandalf issue.
Yeah, as you get in, there's a doorman there, a sort of grumpy dwarf, if that's a bit of a redundancy, who looks at you, and you're probably wearing a weapon or something on you, and gives you a short bark of like, "No weapons allowed."
All right, where can I leave them?
He just puts out his hands.
All right, and I hand him Harvest Moon.
All right, you hand him a priceless magical artifact.
Yeah,
and the dwarf
I mean,
like tosses it in a pile of other weapons and sits down.
Okay. And then when I asked Jeeves what name did he give me for the dwarves, like a name for the head of the group.
Carl is the dwarf
Carl.
we want to talk to. Yeah.
Okay, so I say to the guy I hand him open, I'm looking for a dwarf named Carl.
He gives a grunt and points a stubby little finger across the smoky room towards a section of dwarves. There's maybe three of them crowded around a very small table. You know, one of them's got the back to a fireplace, one of them's got it back to a window, the other one's got it back to the rest of you guys, and they're huddled in close, as if they're doing some sort of conspiracy.
Okay, so I say thank you, and I walk over to Carl and I say, "Excuse me, Carl."
One of the dwarves pops up, gives you a gnarled look, and goes, "Aye, what's it to you, pretty boy?"
Well, as I recall, you were the ones who did some work on our mansion a few months back. Completed the
You
basement.
must be the blonde-haired man Mr. Jeeves spoke of.
Yes, I'm Van Helsing.
He kind of gives a nod to the other dwarves and hops off his stool, drops down about a foot, walks over to you, and sticks out a hand.
Yeah,
I'm Carl.
I shake it and I say, we're looking for some more work, something maybe a little bit more intensive than the last one. Well, intensive in some ways, easier in others.
He leads you to the bar and says, "Tell me about it. What do you need?"
Well, it doesn't need to be pretty, but it needs to be strong, very strong. Like, could hold a rampaging metal bull that's larger than I am, kind of strong.
A monster cage, huh?
Yes, disconnected from the original mansion. You would just need to dig down into the earth and build a very potent cell.
We could do. Not too much of a problem. You've got the land and the
I think the only
cash.
real difficulty that we have there is we need to be able to put a ceiling into it, something that we could see through with a window. So there'd have to be 2 levels to it. And that ceiling's going to need to be pretty sturdy as well. And that's
You don't
probably
want
going
just a window in the door. Window in the ceiling, huh?
I'm worried the window would be pretty fragile if it was just how thick could you make the door? The glass needs to be very stable, right? It can't be a design flaw, or it can't be a weakness that something could exploit.
Fair enough. So, floor above, glass ceiling or window. Then if you're holding something, you want a big pit so it can't reach the roof, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then you'll still want a stairway down to that thing too, yeah?
Yes.
All right. He grumbles to himself and does some, fingertip calculations. Gives you a bit of a nod and says, "Time frame?"
What is reasonable for this job?
How big of a pit do you need? How big of a pit do you need? 10 feet across? 50 feet across? 200 feet across?
It doesn't need to be that big. Maybe 15 feet. Give it enough room to not be completely cramped.
10-foot high bottom chamber? 15-foot high bottom chamber?
Well, I don't want it smashing into the ceiling. Let's go 15 feet there, too.
15 by 15 circular column room. Okay, alright, we can do this. Easy peasy.
All right.
Maybe a month worth of work.
Okay.
Now, there's a small problem with this. Small
Yes.
problem, solvable problem. The best quarry around here is in the Crawlog Ridge, and been a few problems with it. I think the local constables will have it taken care of shortly. But the quarry over there has been abandoned. Something about digging in the rocks and something attacked them. Sounds like a bunch of lazy workers trying to get a day off, if you ask me. Fucking humans trying to get away from their work.
Do you
No
need the
offense.
quarry to start the digging?
No, we can do the digging without the stone.
Okay.
But once it gets to a certain point, we're gonna need to reinforce with stone quickly.
Right. I will speak to the constable, and I'll see if Malachi and I can accelerate that resolution.
I like it.
Good,
I don't
good.
really want to wait.
Well then,
Yep, I will find a good spot near the mansion, though not in it, to mark down for you to start your digging work. Just speak to Jeeves tomorrow, and you should be able to start right away. We should talk payment, though. What is a price that you would find agreeable for this job?
well, it'll be about a month worth of work, and it'll take about 10 dwarves to do it. So 5 times 10, does some quick back of the fingers math. Labor will be probably on the order of 150,000 copper. The materials, stone's gonna be expensive, wood's gonna be expensive. Let's call it 400,000 copper as an estimate.
Okay. Total for that, or
Yeah, for labor, supplies, tools, the whole shebang, ballpark 400,000 copper.
sure. Let's up that to 600 gold. Make it good. Make it very good.
400,000 copper.
Sorry. Oh, is that 4,000 gold?
Yeah.
I can't. Why do you do copper to me, Neal? I can't handle these conversions. It's here,
It's a
4,000
decimal
gold.
place. You can do it. At least I'm
let's
not
up-
asking you to remember to put semicolons at the end of all your sentences.
You don't have to do that in PHP, do you? I can't even remember.
Yeah, I think so. You
Aren't
gotta
they
do it in
implicit
everything,
PHP, or is that in Go? I don't.
right?
Too many languages. Whatever. Let's
Too
move
many
on.
languages, yeah.
Okay, so 4,000 gold. All right. I'll go speak to Jeeves, but I believe we can make that work. He'll come out and finalize some of the business details with you.
Sure. You find Jeeves sitting in a comfortable chair in the back garden, a book in hand, kind of kicked up with his feet propped up on a table, a small drink right next to him with some leaves and a little umbrella in it, sipping and enjoying the sun's rays in early December.
Jeeves, you seem to be enjoying yourself.
Oh, you're back already, he says, kind of getting himself up and brushing himself off. Look,
Yes.
I've prepared your drink for you.
Oh, wonderful. And I take and say, so I spoke to the dwarves. We need to build a cell next to the mansion. They were saying roughly in the order of 4,000 gold for the building.
Right, of course, my lord.
Well, do you do some of our accounting work for us, Jeeves? I don't really pay attention to that kind of thing too much.
Of course. My mind is like a steel trap, quite sharp.
Well, I just want to make sure that we had the money to expend and that it wouldn't completely drain our treasury.
4,000 pieces of gold, you say?
Yes.
The treasury will hold that account, yes, sir.
Okay. I might up it a little bit. I really want them to make it good. Would 5,000 still be a mark we could
Wonderful,
bear?
sir. Good job, my lord.
That's some tip. Sure.
It's a hell of a tip, but I'd rather give them an amazing tip and then not die
Yeah.
because they build their hearts out with this cell.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Jeeves. I'm glad to have you as an accountant.
Excellent, my lord. Is there something else I can do for you?
No. I'm fine right now.
Wonderful.
And then after the conversation, I'm gonna head to the treasury myself because I'm a little bit concerned about Jeeves. I'm not gonna count like exactly how much we have because I don't think you even know, Neal. But I'm gonna like count out, make sure we have 5,000 to spend, and then make sure that's not like all of our treasury.
Yeah, you're looking through the treasury. You can easily set aside 5,000. A lot of your treasury is also like valuable art objects, so it's hard to quantify. But you're definitely not broke. Like it's a sizable investment, but you guys are fine.
Sure. So I'll actually go back to the dwarf myself. I'm a little bit worried that Jeeves might be on something right now. Tell you what, we can make it 5,000 gold. Build it strong. We need this to be a hell of a prison.
He gives you a polite and respectful and like an admiring nod of like, this man understands craftsmanship. You shouldn't rush it. Good.
Yep. I say, 5,000 is fine. We'll handle. So you understand, at 5,000, it's not necessarily straight coinage that we'll give you, and we'll haggle out the exact price of, exact perfect trade at the time.
Of course. Ballpark figures. I like it.
Yep. Anyways, I'll mark out a spot tonight, and you can start work tomorrow. And I shake his hand, and then I'm going to head back to the mansion. I have to write a letter to Valis to let him know of our plan, that he'd have to he'd be able to study the bull, but only in short bursts of time.
Okay.
And I'm gonna let him know so that he can kind of prepare in advance for whatever means he can use to study this thing.
Cool. And you'll detail to him how you plan on.
That we can restrain it in bands of cerulean. I can like suppress its mental willpower for a short period of time, which would leave it docile and safe for him to inspect directly. I kind of like go over the methods and say that we have like a safe viewing area for him to like see it from without going into the same room as it. And I detail the rough idea of everything he'll be able to do and how he'll be able to safely work here.
Okay. Sweet. You get your letter set up. You can mail it out to Valis immediately. And I think we should switch over to Nick, who is venturing in Old Shirebrook, right?
Perfect.
Yeah. So I fly into the basement, turn back into Malachi, grab my silver and my materials for making the magic circle. And then I will polymorph into an imp, which can fly, right? It can fly. That's the important bit here. This is what I've done best. It can fly and it's got arms and vocal cords, so it can cast spells.
I think so, yeah.
So I then cast teleport about 300 feet above the Shirebrook Keep.
All right, and that's an area you know well, so there's no chance of spell failure, right?
I think there is always some chance, but
but you're teleporting above, so it doesn't really matter.
And I'm flying, so I should be fine.
I don't think you can teleport into the air. I think you have to have solid ground beneath your feet.
That's what I'm about to look up.
Yeah, so you're going to have to look for like a large enough building that if you were off by a little bit, you would just go down a floor.
A wizard cannot teleport into an area of empty space. A substantial surface must be there, whether a wooden floor, a stone floor, natural ground, or etc.
Yeah, so just look for, when you were clairvoyancing, pick out like one of the buildings that was at least like 3 stories tall and you should be fine.
Yeah, I do that then. I'll pick one of the floors on the top of the keep.
Well,
maybe like the tavern. Maybe like the tavern.
The whole
like
keep's
one of the taverns.
Okay,
because he'd probably be very familiar with like the taverns and the temples, so he could probably pick like one of those places that has multiple floors.
Yeah, the Storybrooke Inn over the road from the Half Pint.
Ah, perfect. Why don't you give me a D100 on your roll?
It should be fine as long as you don't roll like a straight 100.
I mean, there's a good chance that I will. No, 45.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
You're not Greg. You're not gonna screw it up that bad.
All right. So when I get there, then I will then shift my polymorph into an eagle or something, and I'm going to do the rounds of the town, do a lookout for demons. I want to make sure that there's nothing dangerous living in town.
Yeah. You start looking around Shirebrook, and this place is deserted. You know, the keep is gone, parts of the town are gone. The building that would have been your house, completely ruined and demolished. Yeah, this place is just a mess.
Is the Storybrooke intact?
Somewhat. Like, the facade has been broken down, but like the back half of it is still standing.
So I want to find somewhere where I can sleep safely, like 4 walls on a door.
You can find a house somewhere that is still intact.
Okay, so I earmark that, but I want to check around the town. I'm gonna just fly around, and then I'll like polymorph into a robin and go on windowsills and look through windows, make sure that there's not like orcs or not orcs. What would it be around here? Bullywugs or lizard men living in the houses.
I need my D100 here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you are looking around. We are what's the date today? December 1510. So let me just look at my map of world events.
Mm-hmm.
Getting dicey here. There's a lot to track. Let's see if anyone is in Shirebrook this time of year. Let's see. No, yeah, it's fine. You're walking around the town and you see no monsters, no humans. There's just like random animals that would never be seen in town. There's a stag over there eating someone's lawn. There's like a pair of turkeys chasing each other around a pole over here. You know, weird stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
Sort of makes
So
the place empty.
if it seems safe enough, then I will go back to the keep, and I'll turn back into human form and walk around the base of the keep. And I'm going to look for the portal because I'm pretty sure that that's where Van and Georg left it. So I'm going to see if I can see it, or if it looks like it's probably buried under rocks, or if it's around.
Well, you don't find it.
Yeah.
At least not with your eyes.
Well, I've got the Gem of True Seeing as well, which I happen to have in both campaigns. So I'll look. I had one in Frofro as well.
Oh yeah, before you died.
I'm not dead. But I'll look around for that.
Okay.
Well, I'll look around with that in the keep, see if there's any hidden demons going down.
Nope. No hidden demons. Nothing seems to be revealed by this whatsoever. You walk around and it's just sort of, well, shit.
We had it in like a build. I think we just put it in like a random building.
I think it was in the courtyard of the keep.
Yeah, it was.
Well, because I know we had it in like a cart at one point, and then I don't remember what happened to it after that. But we took it out of the mines, and we didn't really do much with it because we had to like get out pretty quickly. Because I didn't lie to Georg and tell him it's totally fine, just teleport with the portal.
Yeah. Good
Okay.
idea.
So I head back to my house that I've earmarked to sleep in. I go in. I don't bother opening the door. I'll polymorph into a spider and crawl under it, just to make sure that if it's lodged shut, it stays shut. I don't want to disturb it.
Right.
And then I'll go to sleep in there. And the next day, change my spells up a little bit.
All right.
Assuming that I'm not accosted.
You might wake up to the howling of a wolf in the streets, but I don't think that's something that bothers Malachi anymore. I don't think he's disturbed by the presence of small predators.
Certainly not. Alright, so wake up the next day. Let's change some spells here. So, let's change out Teleport and Teleportation Circle. And there was something else that I wanted. Oh yeah. Locate Object, is that level 2? Okay. Not as good as Van's Locate Object, but yeah, it's level 2. So I'll change this ESP for Locate Object. Right. So what I'll do, I'll wake up, I'll cast Locate Object and imagine the portal itself. And
What's the range of Locate Object?
It's not very good.
It's basically when he walks close, he'll know. It's not like an instantaneous thing.
Right.
Let's see. Second level wizard spell, Locate Object.
20 yards per level. What level are you? 9?
9. Yeah, 180 yards.
I remember clerics get like the good one or something. Like we have the better version of the spell.
Yeah. But yours requires a stick and mine doesn't. So I think I can turn into a bird and fly around the town.
Yours requires a forked twig.
Oh, it does, yeah.
Yeah. They need a lodestone. You need a twig, so yours is probably easier.
Lodestone isn't too good.
Yeah. My document here says that Van Helsing is level 8. Is that out of date?
I'm level 8, yeah. It's a long road to level 9 for clerics.
Higher than wizards to get to level 9?
I've mentioned this before. So at level 5, the wizard, everyone kind of doubles for a while, and then at level 5, wizards become 1.5 times experience growth per level until about level 11 or 12 when they would get 6 level spells.
Right.
And that's when they go back to doubling. So there's a while where wizards have the best experience growth in the game, and they're only slightly behind rogues in terms of level ups.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. And they beat everyone else out. Clerics are still better than fighters, though.
Yeah.
Okay. For whatever reason.
So yeah, I walk around the town looking for the
nothing.
Fucking
nothing, man.
Doesn't seem to be in this town anymore.
No, if it was here, it is gone now. And you're positive it was here. So
I'll take a little walk down into the mines a little bit to see if it's somehow found its way back to where it was.
No. You walk around the mines, you find that room where it was before, and it's just empty.
Okay.
There's still that sort of stench of chlorine gas here in the mines. That's sort of residual from when the dragon was here. It's not dangerous, but it's got that every now and then that whiff of like clean pool.
Takes you back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is another roadblock on the plan, but I will continue with my circle plan. So I'll go back to the house I was in, and then I'm gonna. Does that have a basement in this house?
You can find one that does without any problem.
Okay, and then I'm gonna cast my first teleportation circle and register it down here. So I think I chisel out of the stone a circle. I have to draw some runes around the edge of it, and then I think the idea was that I pour molten silver into it. So I'll probably have to set up a little furnace, melt some like bits of silver that I've got, and then pour it into the circle. While
this is going to be a multi-day process, and you have to build a small forge. But there's old ruined smithies here in town. It looks like some of their equipment has been stolen, but not all of it. Not the really difficult to transport stuff. So you can either use that as a place to melt your metals, or you can bring it over to your new place as a workshop, or you could make your teleportation circle next to one of these smithies. But it can be done.
Yeah, but it takes me a few days. All right.
Yeah, it'll take you a few days.
Okay, so what I'll do is then I spend a few days doing it, and when I'm done, I'll sleep the next day, learn it again, and then cast it to go back to the one that I've set up in. Well, I actually haven't detailed setting one up in my basement, but that would be the...
I think that's something that you did after you built the area for the dwarves. The dwarves built that area, and you did your undersea adventures, and it's been a few months since you've been back from that, so I think that's probably set up by now.
Yeah.
And then you teleport back.
I was hoping to bring Aldrich's books back with me, so I'll start digging through the tower on one of these days when I've got a spare couple of hours. Is there any books left?
There are. They're not in great condition. The tower collapsed on them. But give me a dexterity check. Let's see.
I'm sure it's 10. Let me just check. That's 9. That's great. Nope, 17, so I probably don't get too much.
Yeah, you'll get a few books here and there, but most of them are too badly damaged, or you'll be like moving things and you'll like rip some pages on one of them or another one. And you seem to be... You'll get a few good, valuable books out.
All right, but on my last day then, as I'm walking back to where the circle is when it's finished, I look around the town. Do I see any stags or any turkeys knocking around?
Yeah, there's a turkey knocking around.
All right. Then I'm just going to real quick cast a magic missile at the turkey for 17 damage.
Yeah, you explode the turkey in a pile of feathers.
No, I don't want to explode it. I want to just kill it.
All right. Well, okay, it's dead. Yeah, I was being liberal with my language.
I drag its body to the circle with me, and I will teleport back to the mansion with this dead turkey for dinner.
Oh, bringing home the bacon. All right. The party reconvenes in the mansion.
So I come up the stairs dragging this turkey behind me. Man, I'm back. Are you here?
Yeah. My business didn't take too long. You were gone for a lot longer than I was expecting. Yeah, he is. He's right in the yard. He's having a drink.
Jeeves.
He stumbles in. Yes, my lord. Yes.
Can you cook this up for me? And I drop the turkey on the floor.
Van? No, my lord. Oh, the turkey. Yes, of course.
Do we have a chef, or is Jeeves the chef?
I guess Jeeves is probably the chef. We should hire a chef. We could afford a chef.
Yeah, just hire a chef.
You just haven't yet. So Jeeves drags the turkey by one leg across the floor and tosses it in the kitchen sink and starts plucking feathers while mumbling to himself. And he tells you that the turkey will be ready in 5 hours.
Marvelous. All right. So I'll sit down in the parlor with Van and pour a glass of brandy or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just have a sip and say, Shirebrook, it's not in a good way. The keep's destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
The portal. I think you left it in the keep courtyard, right? It's not there.
Somewhere in Shirebrook. I don't remember anymore. It's been a while.
I scoured the whole town. It's not there. I'm going to have to find another way to the shadow plane.
We might need to go to Heatstroke.
But even that would be a portal to the demon plane, not to the shadow plane, right?
Right, but if I had to imagine where the demons... Okay, the portal's gone, right? So somebody took it. And who do you think would take it besides the demons?
That's a good point, yeah.
And if I had to imagine where they were congregating, it would be in Heatstroke.
Yeah, well, they've been here.
But we're not going to Heatstroke until we, get a fighter or two from that city. And you should also make your protection scrolls.
Yes, okay. So, did you speak to the dwarves?
Yes, 5,000 gold for the area. Quite expensive, but we need to build something that's going to be a veritable fortress.
Once this is done, it can be used for other means anyway.
Yes, and then
useful to have our own prison.
Yeah, I can see a lot of value in that.
Okay, great. So the dwarves are they starting work? Maybe if I look out the window, I can see them starting to dig a hole.
There's a giant ass pit out there with a bunch of dwarves hauling shit around. And a huge mound of dirt, like covering part of your rose garden or whatever.
Marvelous. This is what dwarves are meant to do, I suppose.
It might be why most dwarves are miners.
Yes, they love digging around down there.
Well, do what you're good at, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So this town, Outlast, you said, with the arena?
Yeah, apparently there's arenas all over the place. I've never been there, but I've heard that there's a lot of gladiatorial combat in the area.
So here's what we do. I think we offer a gold sum, maybe 400 gold or so. We put on a little tournament.
Mm-hmm.
The winning two people fight against some monsters of mine own creation.
Mm-hmm.
And if they pass that final test, then we offer them the job.
What kind of monsters can you create?
Oh, all sorts.
We want to make sure that, for their own good, we want to make sure that we're not summoning in, or that we're not bringing weaklings with us, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, monster summoning level 3. Neal, what can I get?
A bunch of shit.
3rd level monsters.
Take a look.
I mean, it's looking pretty good.
Monster summoning 3.
Gelatinous cubes, bugbears, crocodiles, ghouls, giant lizards, large scorpions, giant constricted snakes, huge spiders, a few different things.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, Neal, as a separate point, right? If I were to cast web from my cloak here,
Mm-hmm.
and then cast monster summoning, would it be possible for me to guarantee the spiders? No.
Ooh. I think with your cloak of if you're wearing your spider cloak or whatever it's called, cloak of the
Arachnidia.
Arachnidia, thank you. I think with that you can just summon spiders.
That's sick. All right.
With the spell slot, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I'm not saying that for you. I'm saying that for chat because they will misinterpret everything intentionally.
That would be quite the buff.
Yeah.
What do you say? It might be quite fun to run our own little tournament.
Well, I'm not sure about the tournament.
No.
Well, here's the thing: we're already going to be offering a good amount for the job, right? And we don't want to offer too much for the tournament. Well, okay. I guess we do need to offer something because we want people to have reason to compete. Maybe a little bit less than that. I was going to say 250 gold ahead. Maybe try to bring 2 people with us.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. You know, I could. The problem is I can only memorize 1 of these monster summoning spells a day. But if I use a slightly less powerful version, I can do 3 a day. So we could hold a preliminary round, have people fight some low-level monsters, and then the winners can graduate to the more powerful stuff.
Well, maybe what we should do. I'm gonna be honest. I like the monsters that you can. I've seen your work before. They're impressive, but I don't know if they're quite up to the level. We could just run a tournament there and say we want the strongest fighters in the area. We want the ones who have like years of experience, have multiple wins under their belt.
Yeah, but
like we can skip the whole tournament formality and just hire somebody straight out. I feel like this.
How will we know that they're strong? I mean, if they can fight for giant,
we can run a test. I could duel them. I mean, I can heal any injury they deal. If they manage to kill me outright, maybe it's my time to go.
I'm sure that won't happen. Okay, well let's we can work it out when we're there. Is there anything else come up with the dwarfs?
No, I don't think so. But it's gotten me thinking. We should probably hire some more help here. Jeeves is a bit of a drunk now, and I can't really say I blame him with everything he's been through.
Now, hasn't he always been a bit of a drunk?
Well, maybe he was good at hiding it before.
Maybe
but I mean, we could use some more help around the house. We could use some guards to make sure. I mean, there's a lot in there, Malachi. Like, we should probably make sure that this place is relatively secure.
I agree. Yes, guards.
Don't you have a way that you can stop a door from being opened, except by you and anyone that you allow into it? You should probably do that for the treasury. That'd be a very, very good idea. I don't know why we haven't done that yet, actually. That seems like something that we probably should have done, like, day one.
Yeah. I mean, I can cast Aldrich's Discerning Lock, I think, which allows me to specify people who can go in and out of a door. So yeah, I can do that, and I can set it up so me, you, and Jeeves have access to it. That's no problem. But out of character, Sean, don't we have to kill something in a quarry? Like, I'll say to you that.
Oh yeah, we have to go to. I forgot about that. There's the quarry, Malachi. There's the dwarves are starting the digging process, but they don't have the stone because there's a problem with the quarry. We should probably ask about that and go take care of that issue because I don't want to wait.
All right, that sounds like something that we can do. Why? What's the problem with the quarry?
No idea. Something about something coming out of the rocks and attacking people. That was all I got. We should go ask for some help on. Or we should go ask for more information and then see if we can lend a hand.
Sounds like something we should get paid for.
Maybe, yeah. We can negotiate that. Just two adventurers looking for work.
That's all we are.
Good old days.
Where is the quarry? It's in town?
I have no idea.
It's right over here on the Crawlog Ridge.
Yeah. So let's go. Something about the constable was looking into it. So let's go talk to him.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
All right. You make your way to the sheriff that afternoon. Jeeves is still cooking your turkey. It'll be some time.
Before we head out, I'm gonna let Jeeves know that he should start looking around. We want to hire like a chef so that he can stop doing that, and also like a couple of bodyguards to have around the mansion, or not bodyguards, but like just general guards to have around.
Yeah. You don't want people sneaking up into your house and they might kill Jeeves trying to get to the treasury.
Right? This is for his sake. Because they're not getting into the treasury.
Right. So Jeeves will hire you a cook if you want him to take on that task, and he can get a pair of guards.
Like dwarven guards would be excellent.
What? No.
Yeah.
Not dwarven guards, man.
Dwarves are pretty tough, and I don't know. They're generally pretty trustworthy.
No, we'll stick to humans, I think.
Look, I get that they're difficult to work with sometimes, Malachi, but they are trustworthy. They are tough fighters.
Time has dulled your senses, my friend. It's been a while.
I have plenty of reason to hold my personal grudges, but that doesn't blind me to the truth.
There's a line. You've stepped over the line now. I'm drawing a line there. It's half my house. I'm not having.
Look, if it was your choice, we'd be hiring an elf to be our guard.
You could have a dwarf guard your half of the mansion. I'll have a human guard my half of the mansion. No, really though, I don't see why. Why you would insist on it being dwarves.
It was just a thought. It wasn't a hard set in stone idea. Just that, look, we're hiring people who are going to be guarding a place while we're out a lot, and I'm not sure I trust most humans to.
Well, if it's not that big of a deal, then I humbly request that we don't. And I say I feel quite strongly about it. So I'm sorry. I don't want to fall out over this, but like I said, there's more humans in Bod Theros. Like you said, dwarves are meant to be miners. They're not fighters. Yeah. Plus, they like shiny things, don't they? So
dwarves are pretty tough.
They wander around the house all day. They see all my shiny stuff. They might try and.
You have all the shiny stuff locked away. It's fine. You're very covetous with your shiny stuff, Malachi.
Why does it have to be a dwarf? Surely it doesn't matter. Let's just move past it. Just stick to humans. All I'm saying is Drekis for the humans. That's all. I don't want to go and live in their mountains, do I? They can keep the mountains. No. It's enough of that now. But
all right. Jeeves will go hire.
We'll talk to some maybe the government in town, like the guards will know some reputable people that we could look to for hiring help.
Oh, you don't want to just have Jeeves go hire whoever he thinks is best.
Well, yeah, I guess if he probably has a decent eye for business. Yeah, I tell him to hire some people that are reasonably reputable for the guard position.
All right. Let's roll a check for Jeeves.
And I suggest maybe like talking to the sheriff or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about it. I'm like, Jeeves, just hire the chef. We'll take care of the guards.
Sure?
We're strong fighters, and we can evaluate them ourselves and make sure that they're up to the task.
Of course, my lord. I'm here to take work off your shoulders. But do as you please.
Yes, it's take care of the chef. I trust you on that front. It's just we can test them in one-on-one combat if we go for the guards ourselves.
Of course.
All right.
I kind of like give a concerned look at our very drunken Jeeves, and
he's had some time off, and he's been using it to just like read trashy novels and like drink in the sun.
Yeah.
But he takes his job seriously when he's got one, and he goes out to fetch you a cook, forgetting completely about the turkey that's in the oven. It's all right. Needs to cook for a while anyway. The two of you head into town, and you can go find the sheriff / constable.
You know, Malachi, I did send a thought wave out to Joris and Darf when I sent you that message.
Oh,
so if they're still alive, it's possible they might show up on our doorstep at some point.
I could speak to them actually. With a new spell I've learned.
That could be useful. If there was anyone I trusted to guard the mansion, it'd be Darf. And I'm sure we could rent out some space to Joris. He might be looking for a new place to live after the incidents over in
I'll make contact tomorrow.
In the place that the name is escaping me, even though I grew up there all my life. Oh my god, what is the kingdom called?
Eridon. All right.
Yeah, I've had a little bit too much to drink myself.
You guys head over to the sheriff's station. We haven't already discussed who the sheriff in this town is, have we?
Mm-mm.
Cool.
At least not with me.
All right.
Oh wait, no, we did, because she was there when we did the viewing angle, because we were a little bit worried about something coming through the window into the other plane.
Right.
And she could like keep an eye on it.
Oh, what's her name?
That's a great question.
Ooh.
Somebody in chat is going to feed you false information, and I'm going to believe them first thing they say.
It's probably on the wiki, but maybe I have notes from our last session.
Okay.
I have not been taking notes during these like post-series games, so I don't really know anything anymore.
Just throw something in the chat, people, and I will believe you immediately and suggest that's the name for the sheriff.
Hardcore Heroes plans? Plans. No, this is old.
Tam. No, this isn't the Wheel of Time.
It's probably on the wiki. Let me go search the wiki. All right. In the meantime, it's a sheriff.
Raekwon.
That's the name of the chef, right? Raekwon the chef. That's his...
No.
According to the wiki, it's Molly. I believe that.
That sounds exactly like a name.
Yeah, that sounds like a name that I believe.
Sheriff
Molly,
the fourth level fighter.
Perfect.
All right, so you find Molly. She's sitting in her guard's keep room thingy, doing some paperwork, and looks up as you guys approach, stands up a little, and says, hello.
Hi. We, sorry to bother you. I was hearing some word about trouble in the nearby quarry. Do you know anything about it? Stone giant. Single giant or a group of giants?
Started off as one, but it has been digging something out of the quarry ever since. Yeah. Miners were chopping around and hit something that was stone, but harder than stone, and then it shifted and eye opened and sort of broke out of the rocks and crawled out, and everyone fled, and every now and then someone pokes their head back, and it's in there, in the quarry, moving rocks around.
We fought a stone giant at one point, didn't we, Malachi? Or was that a mountain giant? I can't remember.
A hill giant, I believe, although we did fight a few of them.
We fought more than just hill giants. I remember we fought one that had, like, it threw stones.
They all throw stones, I think.
Oh, do they?
They all throw stones, yeah.
Darn it.
Classic giant fighting styles.
If I recall, stone giants are particularly terrifying.
Yeah, I believe so, actually. Stone giants are more than just, like, large creatures. I think there's some magic to them.
Well, these ones were like buried in the earth and are coming out, so they're definitely not your standard hill giant.
Sounds dangerous, but it's something that we could deal with.
Possibly.
Does
sure?
Does the town have a reward for such things? I imagine there's a lot of businesses losing money right now.
Well, there's certainly a lot of interest in keeping it open. People you'd want to talk to about a reward would be the mining company. They'd be the one fronting it.
Sure. Where's the building? We could just go talk to them right now.
She gives you a direction to the mining HQ. It's down the street on the left.
All right. We might as well just go ask them, Malachi.
Let's do it.
You head over to the mining company, and their offices are in disarray. Every spare section of table space has been covered with maps or charts or documents. People are running around chatting with each other. There's a few like wizened old men and women leaning on staves around another table chatting about things. A whole section of dwarves on another side. There's a group of sailors standing in line waiting outside of an office where they're getting called in one at a time to chat with someone in there. No one stops to even look at you guys as you walk into the big warehouse floor.
All right. So we walk in. I kind of like flag somebody down as quickly as I can to say, we're here about the issue, the trouble in the quarry with the giants.
Sorry, quarry's closed until the giants are cleared up. Sorry.
Yes, that's why we're here. We're looking into possibly clearing out those giants.
Stay right here.
All right.
And the young man in question bolts to the room where all the sailors are being like lined up outside the door, throws open the door, and you can hear some hurried discussion back and forth. And the young man comes out shortly, a few moments later, with an older woman hot on his heels. And she comes up to you. She's got this like silvery gray hair that's kind of gnarled and matted and not very well kept up. She's got like a rough complexion on her face with a couple of scars here and there. Her hands are missing fingers on both of them. She comes up to you and says, "Are you volunteering to kill the giants?"
Volunteer is maybe a bit of a generous term. Looking for work would be a little bit more accurate.
Hired.
How much is it worth? And how many giants are there?
2 giants.
2 giants.
Who are you?
I'm Van Helsing. This is Malachi. We're originally from Eridon. We moved here some months back.
Smart move.
Yes. You may not have heard of us, but we were pretty well known back in Shirebrook as well-traveled adventurers.
Okay, sure, I'll believe that. So what's it worth? Well, quite a bit. The giants have stopped all stone mining for all of Bontheris, which isn't a big problem right now, but they've been talking about renovating the keep and building a bridge across the River Vodin. All that's going to take a lot of stone, so we're looking at a potential loss of tens of thousands of gold pieces. Sorry, millions of copper. So I would be quite happy to say 1,000. Can I talk in gold? Is that okay? 1,000 gold pieces?
How about this?
maybe something that'll save you a little bit better on our end. It might save you a bit of trouble since you wouldn't have to worry about pain. We're going to be doing some work soon. Mm-hmm. We're going to be building a kind of cell for a rather large monster next to our mansion.
In town?
Anyways, we're a little bit out of town, just a short ways. Anyways,
okay.
Point is, we're going to be using a lot of stone for this job, and how about we get the stone requisitioned for this job for free? It'd be a little bit more in the end on your end, but you wouldn't have to pay us any gold, so you keep all of your liquid assets.
That sounds like a fantastic deal. This is you're not talking like a mountain worth of stone, right?
About 15 by 15 with a second floor. Feet.
Oh, easy peasy. Done.
Yeah. It was going to be a few thousand gold for the stone materials.
She immediately outstretches a hand. Deal?
Yeah, deal. And I shake on it.
All right, the deal is done.
Right.
She asks you to hold there and runs around and talks to a bunch of people, and then comes back to you guys after you've been led into more of an appropriate officey waiting room for these sorts of deals. And she comes down, sits comfortably in a chair with a map in front of her that shows you the path from Bontheris to the quarry. And she puts one of her stubs on where the quarry is and says, "Here, this is where the stone giants are."
Okay.
And do they hang out together in a pair?
Yes. Since the first one was uncovered, we fled, and it uncovered another one, and they've since been digging in the stone with their bare fingers, building something. They first built a pair of chairs, and now they're building a passageway between them and just tossing the rubble out. We're losing so much precious marble and granite. It's just, the sooner you can do this, the better.
Sure. We'll go take care of this.
What do you know about stone giants, Van? Are they evil? Could they be reasoned with?
Giants are very humanish. They're evil in the same way that humans are often evil.
It's going to be difficult to convince them to leave, probably.
We might be able to negotiate, though. I'd be very interested in doing that. We might be able to hire them.
To do what?
We were looking for guards for the mansion.
Oh, come on now.
I mean, consider it, right? If we can find them a suitable place to live that's near the mansion.
They're not going to find
I guess the biggest
stone.
thing there is we're going to have to identify what they need, right? They're building chairs. It looks like they're building themselves a home.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to leave for anything less than another quarry. Might just have to kill them.
I walk back in and I say, are there any other places that would be suitable for a quarry that you don't use?
So I suppose so, but they'd be further in the Krolog Ridge, which is overrun with hobgoblins and bugbears and regular goblins, and probably have good materials, but shipping time would be increased. We'd have to build new roads. We'd have to keep the area defended.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about starting a new quarry.
Oh,
but ideally, we could not kill these giants at all. And if it seems like they're building a home, right? They built chairs and a tunnel between them.
I suppose
we could try relocating them to another quarry. That'd be the most peaceful. I don't care about their life. So. I'm mostly just asking, could you mark somewhere that'd be a suitable spot to set up another quarry?
She mentions that the entire Krolog Ridge is basically some dirt with, it's rocks with a little bit of dirt on top of it. Mm-hmm. It's this big, rocky, stony ridge, and anywhere in here, if you dig deep enough, you're going to hit like solid stone to work with.
All right. So we're just go anywhere else. It's
we'll give it a shot. We're negotiators every once in a while. Anyways, we'll be back in the near future, hopefully, or not at all. In which case, we probably died.
Okay, so I could try and talk to them. Do you think they speak Common? I could cast a spell to speak their language.
We'll try Common at first, and then we'll resort to spells if need be.
How far away is it, Neal? Can we walk there in an hour or so, or not?
It's 13 miles, so it would be like a 4-hour walk. Actually, the quarry's probably only right around here, so maybe like a 3-hour walk.
Is there any villages on the way?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the closest village.
Sure. You make your way to some small village along the way.
Yeah, I might as well walk.
Yeah, it's a dry, dusty place out in a very sparse forest where there's pretty much no undergrowth. It's just kind of like pine trees and rocks and maybe a little bit of grass everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The town is one street long with buildings on either side and fuck all else.
Yep, I'm just messing around with my spells because giants are not going to be.
Hey.
Entangle's not going to do us much good against giants, I imagine.
Definitely not.
Probably not. And I think Color Spray and Sleep probably aren't going to do much either.
No, they're too tough.
So, 4 magic missiles.
Let's just do. Take that. That might not actually be a terrible idea. Strength of stone. Draw stone. Sweet air. Probably not necessary for, well, maybe worth keeping just in case of emergency. Ooh, there we go. Stone shape.
Not kill them.
If they're made out of stone, yeah, probably.
They definitely are made out of stone, surely.
I can morph any existing piece of stone into any shape that I desire. So I
You
could
have to
just
touch it.
remove their legs. But yes, it is touch.
Neal, can we still do that thing where we can learn new spells after we wake up? So be able to cast like one spell. Yeah. So if I wanted to cast a Stone Skin on both of us, I think because that's a level 4 spell, I wouldn't be able to do it twice, but I could cast one Stone Skin spell for free.
Yes, you could cast one and then quickly rememorize one.
Yeah. Okay. So I could. Yeah, that's
Thing worth of note: protection from petrification would nullify Stone Skin, because technically it petrifies the outer layer of your skin.
yeah.
That's
Just as
more of
a-
a later issue, though.
Right, just as a side note to be aware of in the
Sure.
future.
It's a little bit too scary to use.
That is pretty scary.
Do you only have 18 HP? Is that real?
Yes. I think so.
Wow. Okay.
I feel like maybe there's been a hit I missed there, but
Well, if you're rolling a d4, you average 2.5 HP per level. At 9th level, you should have 22, but you could easily have just rolled a little poorly. So,
I did roll poorly, so yeah.
yeah.
He rolled there were a lot of ones on his HP rolls.
Beautiful. So delicious.
I am casting weighty chest on my plate armor
Oh,
because I'm being chucked by giants.
Yeah, you don't want to get chucked and thrown by giants, do you?
Nobody does.
Weighty chest. Such a broken spell. Clearly something was not clearly thought out when they were making that spell.
It's not that broken, really.
It's super. You can't be picked up by anyone when you cast it on yourself. It's broken.
I mean, that seems fair.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like an unreasonable level of power for a.
Yeah.
But it becomes a scale of the weight of the person touching it. So if you were to like belly flop onto a stone giant, wouldn't you just explode the stone giant?
Yes, and we were talking about all the possible ways that we could break it, and I agreed not to do it because it would be really stupid. for a
Right,
first
right.
spell.
That's what
Like we were
I'm just
talking
saying.
about weighty chesting arrows and then like firing them into people because then they just become incredibly heavy and like rip your skin apart as they fall through.
Yeah, it's a problem. Someone cracked out when they made this shit.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they thought through all the consequences. They were originally intending for you to like touch a chest and have it be like immune from being stolen.
Yeah.
Does Stone Skin protect from falling damage?
No, I don't think so.
What do you say, Neal?
I say, let me read the spell. Virtually gains a virtual immunity to any attack by cut, blow, projectile, or the like. Even a sword of sharpness cannot strike you, nor a rock hurled by a giant. Magic missiles have their effects.
So it sounds like it would work then.
I guess. Sure. It'll definitely take
seems-
knock off a charge.
Yeah, of course.
So you could just like leap off cliff sides and
With
just
stone
absorb the
skin?
stone skin. Yeah.
I guess. I'm not a super big fan of that. I like falling damage being falling damage.
But you know what the danger with that is? If you like hit into a wall on the way down more than a few times, by the time you reach the wall, you might not have.
No stone skin
Oh,
charge.
that's great.
But you'll have broken your momentum a little bit. So you'll take 1d6 less probably if you lawyer hard enough.
Yeah, like you'll hit a whole bunch of things on the way down out of the tree or the rock side, and you'll be slow. So you'll just take a little bit of damage at the end, but you'll lose all your stone skin charges, which is fantastic. Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay, so here's my. Oh, I need tongues.
Oh. I like this idea.
So you guys are hanging out here
So
in
wait,
this.
one thing.
village, yeah?
Before we're heading out right away,
I'm gonna go back in a third time and say one more time. When you were digging, these things were literally made out of stone.
Well, they were
giants-
buried in the rock, and they
Right,
looked
when-
like rock. And when we hit them with picks, it didn't go through them like it went through rock. So they're harder than rock and skin and alive, but buried in rock without the ability to breathe. I don't... Look, man.
Okay, thank you.
Look,
That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, okay.
Magic is very particular. Sorry.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
weird. I don't get it.
Neal, chat are reminding me that when we looted Misty Rapids in the last episode, there was a magic shield and a magic axe that we never identified because it was pointless at the time. But
Fuck.
potentially, Sean should use magic to do it, probably.
Well, I was gonna ask: are giants considered natural creatures?
Not stone giants.
For what purposes?
Soften earth and stone. All right, I got something else then. That would have been really funny though. You just do it and they become mud giants.
You got an axe and a shield from Misty Rapids?
Yeah.
I mean, I could take the magic shield. Or is it a small shield?
I'm not sure. It's one I think that Ryan gave to one of the undead gnolls back in the day. But you dusted the gnolls by undeading them, and then we just took their magic shit while we looted the treasury.
Yeah, I remember that's how I got wind shear. I don't know anything about a shield though.
But yeah, it's probably like 1 AC, so we can probably just ignore it for now.
I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, we'll worry about it another time. Let's not worry about it right now.
All right. So, yeah, let's sleep in that first village, and then let's go there in the morning. Speak to some giants.
Yeah.
Alright.
Maybe convince them to just head back. What, like a few miles into the hills?
Yeah, I can even help them build it. Get them started.
All right, let's do it. So I wake up in the morning. I cast Stone Skin on myself. I relearn Stone Skin, and I cast it on Van.
Okay.
I will point out that I constantly keep armor on me and it lasts more than 24 hours, so I haven't cast it today, but I'm sure I've got an armor spell currently going.
Right. Okay.
Gives me 14 AC. Alright. Let's go. They said it's just down this road, right?
Yes.
Okay, Van, let's you try speaking to them in common first.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, can I cast tongues on you? Let me see. Or is it only on myself? I do have a feeling that we're going to end up fighting these guys.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not. Oh, it's tongues a third level spell. Oops. Oh no, it's just me. Okay. Let's change my spells up because tongues is level 3, so let's do 1 fireball. And then I'll take level 4 shadow monsters, probably. Shadow monsters. Okay, there you go.
All right.
They might like us, actually, if we've got stone skin cast on us. It might endear them to us.
Yeah.
I mean, endear us to them.
It's
Okay.
possible.
So you guys head on over down the road towards the quarry.
Yeah. Malachi, you should probably cast tongues on yourself in advance.
It only lasts a few minutes, so I'll wait.
Okay.
All right. Where
Hopefully they
is...
speak common.
Hopefully.
All right. You guys arrive in the quarry, and sure enough, there are 2 stone giants there. They're
Okay.
just shy of 20 feet tall. They have this gray skin that covers them all, no hair anywhere, like 8-pack abs. There's a bit of loose cloth that one of them seems to be wearing, like a sash across its body that kind of covers its junk and is tied with a short blue or a tall, wide blue belt.
Right.
The other
so this
one
pretty-
is a
Sorry,
female
go ahead.
and is naked as the day she was born.
Okay. So this is like a really rocky and kind of like jagged region, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna find like a spot where we could like duck behind cover and find like sort of small secluded areas that we could run off to, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you can, like, as you come through the trees and see the sort of quarry ahead of you move from tree to rock and get up to them and like peer around without having them see you, probably.
Yeah, basically we just want an exit plan where we can move from cover to cover, I guess is my point.
Yeah.
So that we can kind of like not be completely out in the open with these guys. And once we get kind of close, and we have like a nice spot set up, Van will say,
Hello, excuse me, and he'll kind of like wave down to the giants. Do you speak common by chance? We have a workaround if not.
What the giant with the without the clothes, the female giant shields her eyes to the rising sun in the east and starts kind of walking your direction slowly with these heavy footfalls thudding.
Malachi, can you cast tongues?
You think?
Yeah, do it.
Alright, cast tongues on myself.
All right. And
Hello?
Yeah, say something. Get some words in.
Yeah. While I wait for it to get closer.
It gets to the point where it spots you, like it's looking, and then it sees you guys like peering out behind
I kind of
something.
like. Well, I'm like standing. I'm ready to like duck down, but I'm there, so I'm like kind of
Okay.
up and waving.
Hello, giant lady.
Hello, little man.
Is she speaking giant?
Yes.
Do you perhaps speak our common tongue?
And which one is that?
This one right here. I'm saying the words in that tongue as we speak.
That one. The one. What he speaks. Do you understand him?
No.
Okay. Well, I can only speak to you for about 10 minutes. But look, you are great and mighty creatures. And the stone of this ridge is your birthright. However, the humans of these parts, this one particular section of stone, the reason they dug you up is because we use this stone to construct our homes. I was wondering if there is anything we could do. There is many other places in this ridge suitable for you to live. Yet this is the only area suitable for our needs. I'm here to perhaps broker a deal. Maybe convince you to move to a different part of the ridge.
Tell her that I could literally help her build a pretty decent section of mine over the course of a few days.
My friend says that if this is agreeable, we could use magic to help you shape the home you want somewhere else.
We must first uncover the rest of our clan.
How many are there?
She sort of narrows her eyes like she doesn't really trust you. Enough.
And it will take you weeks, months, years?
I don't see what concern it is of yours. You have enough rock for your homes? Do you not?
No, the men are afraid to dig here with you and your husband here.
Give me a charisma check, Malachi.
If only I could have cast this on Van.
Let's see how human-giant relations will run its course.
3.
I Malachi, I have a way to speak directly to this person. Could you try and ask if they're okay with me casting a spell for them? It would help us communicate.
Okay, well, my friend here, he could explain it better than me. Will you allow him to cast a spell so he can speak with you?
I hold up my symbol to show that I'm like a man of the gods, and I hold up my symbol of cheese.
You're like this big to her, so she like gets all the way down and rests on her elbow and gets real close to you. Gives a nod of approval, and then reaches out gently and slowly, not in a necessarily threatening way, a hand to Malachi, like to hold him in her hand.
All right.
No, I don't.
No.
With the nod. With the nod, I'm gonna kind of like start getting ready to cast a spell, and I'm gonna cast Rapport on this giant.
Okay. Well, hold on. Malachi doesn't seem to want to be held by the giant.
No, I don't want to be held by the giant. Though.
I mean, I assume you're gonna protest verbally here.
Yeah.
So let's see what that is.
Whoa! What are you doing?
If he is casting spell on me, I want to ensure his honesty.
Oh yeah.
Let me hold you. And that way, if he is treacherous, I can squeeze the life out of you.
I looked at Van. She wants to hold me as an insurance policy, Van.
That's fine. I'm gonna use Rapport, so we'll be talking through mental images. It's perfectly safe.
I look up at the giant. I look back at Van. Then, okay, fine.
All right. The giant wraps her massive fingers around you, holds you gingerly, but you can feel that were she to squeeze, she would probably do more than 18 points of damage with it.
All right. So I start to cast my spell, and I cast Rapport on this giant.
All right.
And I start sending like mental images over. I don't think we actually have to share a language, so I think we can even share thoughts, because the thoughts are kind of like impulses.
Right. Okay, that can be done.
Yeah,
And
so I'm going to kind of share, because I've used stone shape before, so I'm going to show off this magic that kind of like lets me shape stone into forms that I want. And I'm going to kind of give the idea of me like spending a few days casting this repeatedly to make a larger home somewhere deeper in the mountains.
Okay.
And then I kind of like send out the terms of like peace between humans and giants, that people can use this quarry without your kind of like, interference.
Give me a willpower check first. Wisdom check, I guess it is in this system.
That's a pass.
That is a pass. Wow, you pass on a 4? That's incredible. All right, and then give me a charisma check on top of that.
That is a fail, unfortunately.
All right, so you find that she's not super convinced by this plan to move it somewhere else.
I kinda
but
get
you
that
also,
idea.
hold on, you're going to want to hear this. You also get like a glimpse of her thoughts. It seems like she's new to this whole magic sharing thought thing and sort of like accidentally lets slip some thoughts that she might not want to have passed to you. And you can see her like in her own mind with a like scores of stone giants as they like rightfully reclaim their ownership of the area. And it's sort of this vague thought of like, this is our territory. Who are these smaller creatures? Like, it's time for us to rise again, is the image you're getting.
I will, let's see, what else could I do to sweeten this deal?
I don't know, sure. It sounds like we should kill
Hold on. Hold on. Relax. I kind of give the impression that I can do it very quickly. And at one point, I kind of like look over, like almost kind of like surprised that I see Malachi still held, and I say, this should have established trust. You can let my friend go, right? This seems a little unnecessary at this point.
Yeah. She'll let Malachi go, but then she'll like place a hand on the ground, like near your feet, not holding on to you, but like completely ready to smack you if something goes down.
Sure. I take a step back once I'm back on the ground.
And I say, so I'm going to kind of like keep sweetening the deal mentally. And then in common, which we've established that she doesn't speak unless she was being treacherous, I say to Malachi, they're planning to rise up. We have to kill these two. And then I'm going to cast mental domination on this giant.
What, we killing them now?
Yep. I'm going to cast mental domination.
Okay, I take a big steps back.
All right. We're going to go to our break, and when we come back, we'll deal with the giants. See you on the other side.